So you're thinking about going on an Alaskan cruise, you should spend some time thinking because most people only go on an Alaskan cruise once in their entire life. And so if you don't plan it right, well, you could actually miss out on some key bucket list moments. And so today we're gonna take our time and break down 10 things that we feel you need to know before going on your first Alaskan trip. And so we're gonna think through some insider tips that are gonna help make and or break your entire experience. So if you stick all the way to the end, we've got a bonus tip that we felt made our recent excursion on a 7-day cruise with Celebrity Summit that much more meaningful. And so make sure you stay all the way to the end. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cue that intro.
What's up YouTube? Trevi from the Adventure Buddies, the modern travel family, bringing you another video filled with tips, tricks, and inspiration to make sure you maximize your next family adventure like we always do here at the Adventure Buddies.
Hey everyone, I'm Matt, and if you're new here to the Adventure Buddies, we're a family of 5 that make travel content specifically related to helping you travel smarter and, most importantly, have travel with a little less stress. And so if Alaska's on your bucket list, you're gonna wanna make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming series. And so in quick summary, we just got back from a 7-night Alaskan cruise on board the Celebrity Summit, and we've learned a ton along the way. So a lot of research went into it, and then we want to just share our personal experiences. So again, this is part 3 of our whole Alaskan series. In part 1, we reviewed the ship, the beautiful Celebrity Summit. In part 2, we actually went through a detailed step-by-step, day-by-day, full itinerary on all the excursions that we did. And now it's time to kind of wrap everything up and give you a playbook. This is the video that you need to watch to make sure you're fully prepared for that perfect Alaskan trip. So without further ado, again, let's hop into tip number 1. So tip number 1, or the first thing you should know about going on an Alaskan cruise, is timing changes everything. So each month in Alaska is totally different. So typically when you go on an Alaskan cruise, you're gonna wanna go in this summer because that's probably the really only time you're gonna wanna go. So June is gonna be noted for best whale watching. You're also gonna have some endless daylight. The July and August timeframes are gonna be best for the salmon runs and the best opportunities for those bear sightings, typically linked to the salmon. And then in September, this is where you're gonna find the cheaper cruises. You might actually see the northern lights, but you may also have a little bit of rough weather. So again, pick your cruise month based on what you want to see. So for your reference, we decided to go at the beginning of August, and we felt that we got the best of everything. We saw plenty of whales, bears, salmon, and had perfect weather. Tip number 2, or the second thing you need to know, is pack smarter, because we didn't. So Alaska is actually gonna be warmer than you think. And so Alaska isn't the Arctic. And so most days are gonna be between 55 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And so we overpacked with heavy gear and didn't use it. So what do you really need when going on an Alaskan cruise? Well, we suggest packing layers. Waterproof shoes are a must, and a light rain jacket. So forget your bulky winter coats, your gloves, your hats, etc. You probably won't need those. And so you'll regret using all your suitcase space for those. But we do suggest maybe a couple sweatshirts or hoodies. That's really gonna help you get by for all that you need. So the third thing that we feel you need to know is that not all itineraries are equal. So really spend time understanding where you're gonna go, how many ports you're gonna see, and how many days at sea you're gonna actually have. And so typically they're gonna offer round trip options or one way. For your reference, we chose to do the one way from Vancouver to Seward, Alaska. Why? Because this was a 7-day trip and it visited 6 different ports. So that meant we spent more time in Alaska than we did just sailing on board the ship. So something to consider, but if you were to ask us, we highly recommend the one-way trip instead of the round one. So the fourth thing that you need to know before going on an Alaskan cruise is that excursions can actually cost more than the cruise. So for our particular example, our cruise fare was just about $700 per person for a 7-night cruise. So we were super ecstatic about that one. But then there were the excursions. So think dog sledding on a glacier with a helicopter ride included was about $900 a person, or a whale watching trip for a family of 4 was about $1,000 per se, roughly about $200 to $250 a piece. So again, budget as much as the excursions as you do for the cruise fare, because again, the excursions are expensive, but in reality, the excursions are what make Alaska unforgettable. So don't cheap out on an excursion, because that's really going to be where all the action. So quick pause here. If this video has been helpful so far, please make sure to do us a favor and hit that red subscribe button so you won't miss out on any more content coming your way, because we've got a bunch more coming. We're gonna actually show you in our next video how you're going to save hundreds of dollars on these shore excursions that we just told you were super expensive. But without further ado, let's get back into our next tip. Now, tip number 5, know that glacier viewing isn't the same on every single cruise. So some itineraries are going to sail to Hubbard glaciers, others may go to Glacier Bay. And so each, again, is going to have its own highlight. But make sure that you check your itinerary carefully. Make sure it includes at least one true glacier viewing day. And so, again, we went to Hubbard Glacier. We were able to get up close and personal to this glacier, and just wow, it was just absolutely breathtaking to see this natural wonder up close and personal. And then tip number 6, or the 6th thing that we feel you need to know before going on your Alaskan cruise, is that wildlife sightings are absolutely incredible and usually plentiful, but again, it's not guaranteed. This is Alaskan wildlife, not a zoo. So humpback whales, almost guaranteed. Breaching, while it is rare, we did see it. Orca or killer whales, it is possible, but not common, but maybe a little bit more common than, let's say, our home base of Los Angeles. You've got the black bears and the brown bears. Those are actually fairly common. So you're most likely gonna see those in August with the salmon. So again, make sure you book the guided tours if wildlife is a priority. But again, don't just rely on seeing them from the ship to spot wildlife. Yes, you can actually see whales from the cruise ship. We saw plenty, but we encourage you to hop on a smaller boat and get a little bit closer. Tip number 7, let's talk about your cabin. Do you get an inside cabin or do you splurge for a balcony? So again, the inside cabins are gonna be cheaper. It's gonna be pitch black for sleeping. And again, you're gonna save money to put that money towards your excursion. Or do you go with the balcony? Because the balcony is actually gonna be perfect for those glacier days, private viewing, and just the overall awe of the scenery here in Alaska. So our vote, if you can't afford it, Alaska is probably the one place where we highly recommend you splurge on getting that balcony. But if not, don't worry, because there are plenty of open decks with epic views that you can go and see for yourself, even if you choose to do the inside cabin. So for example, we opted to do the cheaper inside cabin on the Celebrity Summit, and it was totally fine. So if you want to see the full review on that ship and our room, click the link above here. Now that brings us to tip number 8, daylight is extreme. So in the summer, it's light from 4 a.m. to about 11 p.m. So while this is great for exploring ports, maybe not so great for sleeping. So maybe consider bringing a sleep mask, especially if you didn't book that inside cabin. We did book the inside cabin and had no trouble sleeping because it was pitch black, but just something to consider. Tip number 9, plan your pre and post cruise logistics. And so again, we went on that one-way cruise and we ended in Seward, but we flew out of Anchorage. So that was a 2.5-hour transfer by bus, or we opted to take a train. So again, make sure that you include that into your overall budget, because sometimes a cruise will add that in, sometimes you have to figure that out on your own. So we opted to stay in Seward for a couple more days, then we hopped upon the Alaskan Railroad. This was actually one of our favorite parts of the entire trip. It was extremely scenic. It did take 4 hours, but we didn't mind. We got full dinner, and it was one of the parts that we'd highly recommend you checking out. And then finally, our last tip, tip number 10, Alaska is an investment, but we feel it's totally worth it. So yes, the excursions are pricey. The logistics can add up, but the payoff is glaciers, whales, salmon runs, bears, and scenery you'll remember. So again, Alaska is entirely different than your standard Caribbean cruise, and it's something that we feel you definitely need to put on your bucket list at least once. So again, remember to budget high, but embrace it, enjoy it. But this is a once in a life trip for most people. And so if you're here at the end, really appreciate you being here, and I promise you guys a bonus tip. And that bonus tip is making sure that you include the inside passage. And why does that matter? Well, the inside passage is actually a protected waterway along Alaska's southeast coast. Why is this important? Well, it's really important on picking which ship you want to go on. So the smaller ships can actually navigate through it, like the Celebrity Summit. That's going to give you smoother sailing, so you're not going to get seasick, and it's going to give you better access to some of the smaller ports like Sitka or Icy Strait points. And so again, if you want more ports versus more sea days, so you want more action in Alaska, pick a cruise that's going on the inside passage. Again, that's going to be one of the smaller ones, and you're going to have a miraculous time. This is just going to be an area or a tip that we can't preach enough. Inside passage, smaller ship, do more ports than sea days, and you're going to be en route to an incredible Alaskan cruise experience. So there you guys have it, 10 things that we feel you need to know before booking your first Alaskan cruise. And if you feel that we may have missed one, drop it down in the comment because we'd love to learn from you. So while you're at it, please make sure you give us that big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button for more travel tips and adventures, and most importantly, remember, life's an adventure. Who you going on it with?